start-sit question from Nick in Houston. He needs to pick one running back and one flex.
Okay.
Abdullah, Spiller, Allen Robinson, Matt Jones, and Carlos Williams.
Ooh.
One running back and one flex.
One running back. Okay, so
I think the
You had Abdullah,
safest flex to me is
Spiller.
Allen Robinson.
yeah, I can agree with that. The Carlos Williams will be the interesting guy this week. And
I think he's the guarantee if McCoy sits.
For
Yes.
sure. If McCoy's out, you play him for sure. So Matt Jones this week, you've got him going up
Against the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Allen Robinson and crew takes who do they take on? They take on the Colts, and man, I'm going Allen Robinson, and I think Carlos Williams, man, of this group.
I'm the same.
Abdullah plays the Seahawks. What are you laughing about over there?
I saw a news update about Cody Parkey's groin. Did you see the quote?
My groin.
He said he tore all 3 muscles in his groin. That was the quote from Cody Parkey.
Oh.
I tore all 3 muscles in my groin. And I'm not laughing at you, buddy. I'm just...
We're laughing with you, Cody.
No, I guess I am laughing at you. I don't know what I'm doing. I just thought it was really funny. All right. Sorry, I ruined your question, but...
Allen Robinson and Carlos Williams. Are you guys... Williams...
I agree with that. I go Carlos Williams. The only other option to me is Matt Jones. I'm not, I don't have a problem there. So Abdullah is out of the running in Seattle for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I
can
agree.
buy in.
That offensive line's been terrible. All right, Jeff in Boston was offered Jeremy Maclin and Justin Forsett for Adrian Peterson.
Maclin and for Adrian Peterson?
Correct.
No. Get out of here with that garbage. Maclin the garbage man?
Oh, the garbage man can.
Yeah, hit me.
Oh, the garbage man can.
I don't.
I won't get into it. Never mind.
No, please do.
No, points are points. I mean,
Yes,
whatever.
points are points, but you
3
have,
weeks in, he has a huge game. You don't give him credit because it's garbage time. So it's all right.
because you have to look at the game
No,
script.
I mean, no, you don't. You actually have to look at the stats at the end of the game, and that's what
for
counts.
that. Okay, for that week.
Right, and so it's just all right. This is why I said I wasn't going to get into it because you don't count points when people score for some reason.
No, I count them that week, but moving forward, the Chiefs will not be down 3 scores to people and having to open up the pass game.
Yes, some
like that.
games they will. Okay, like 3 or 4 more games in the season they will, and then the other games they'll involve Maclin too. I mean,
He'll be involved, but I'm just saying Maclin is that 5 for 50 guy, and maybe he scores.
Okay.
He's not a 140-yard guy.
all right. Would you trade? Andrew
In
wants to
Kansas
know:
City.
would you trade Amir Abdullah and Tyler Lockett for DeMarco Murray and Bishop Sankey?
Yeah.
Abdullah.
I think I would. I see Abdullah. Yeah, essentially what you're doing is you're trading Amir Abdullah for DeMarco Murray because Tyler Lockett and the other pieces to me are just waiver type of pieces. So I would trade Amir Abdullah for DeMarco Murray. Absolutely.
Logan in Florida has a waiver wire question. What's a tight end he could stream this week with Gronk on a bye?
Well, we've got Charles Clay, who is probably my start of the week at tight end. I think he's got a good matchup. If Sammy Watkins ends up missing that game, you've got a piece that Tyrod Taylor seems to be using, and they seem to be figuring out how to get him the ball. Who else is out there on waivers?
Well, Jordan Reed, we talked about this yesterday, and I don't know if you were able to grab him or not, but Jordan Reed was available in far too many leagues.
Pay attention, people.
The Rams are taking on the Cardinals, which the Cardinals defense has looked great, but you could still try Jared Cook.
Man, I tried Jared Cook last week against Pittsburgh, and he stunk. Every
Just-
time that I
just
have
saying.
in the last couple of years, every time that I have finally believed in a Jared Cook sighting, he dies on the field, and so I'm
Really, he dies.
Yeah, multiple times he's died.
All right.
Well, the last
Eric
one.
Ebron against Seattle is not the worst play in the world, in my opinion.
And do we have a status update on Dwayne Allen? If Dwayne Allen is out, then the Colts are taking on the Jaguars, the Jaguars.
So you're saying
Colby Fleener.
Fleener.
You're just grabbing in a big bag.
All right. This week, who would you go with? Eric in Minnesota wants to know:
I'd go with Eric.
Does he start with Derek Carr or Cam Newton? Now, Carr's facing the Bears defense. Newton's facing the Bucs defense.
I like both, but it's Cam.
Yeah, safer, much safer, at least.
I really wanted to say send in the car. So
But
I just
you got to
just
give me
said it.
that drop, bro. All right.
I am the drop.
Yaya.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Yeah.
He wants to know, should he pick up the Eagles D against the Redskins,
Yes.
even though he has Jordan Reed? So talk a little bit about those fun situations.
I'm not a fan. I mean, if I can avoid it, I do. But Jordan Reed.
Do you like them more than the Packers against the 49ers this week, though?
Ooh, I like the Packers against the 49ers.
I like the Packers.
I'm a fan of the Packers against the Niners, but I would say there's a lot of weeks where you're going to have to play a D that's got. I mean, there's a lot of players on your team. You have guys where you're going to be playing against your own D. In a tight end, I'm not too worried about it. If it was the starting quarterback in a situation where both guys are going to destroy the other one, but you can have a situation where Jordan Reed has a very good game because you're using the tight end because your other main options aren't doing so well. So I think you can do both.
Yaya he is a Patreon member, a jointhefoot.com member.
Yeah.
Alfred,
I think you meant
Tim in Chicago, would you trade Alfred Morris for Todd Gurley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Out with the old, in with the new.
I know. I saw Gurley in some starting lineups for this next week.
I think this week might be a little bit too soon. I think his
but there's
workload-
bye weeks and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying the workload I think is not going to be completely there.
Here's why it's a week too soon. Arizona.
Yeah.
That's why it's a week too soon. I think they will use him, but there's not going to be a whole lot of running room there because Arizona hasn't given much running room to anyone in quite a while.
Eric in San Jose has a PPR league question.
A lot of Erics.
Well, this one is E-R-I-C-K.
Eric.
And the other one was E-R-I-C.
So this is Eric.
I'm
pretty sure
I
I'm
think
right.
it's still Eric.
Yeah, agree to disagree. Go on.
I think I saw you try to spell Derek Carr's name. I-C-K. PPR league. Who would you start, Lamar Miller or Matt Jones in the flex?
Ooh. Miller, for all of his ineptitude this season, which I think is not on so much on him as on the organization, has still put up not death numbers.
If you're in a half-point PPR or a full-point PPR, then Lamar Miller has actually been okay. He's near 10 points a game right now, despite stinking it up, having a terrible existence. But I would go Lamar Miller. I have this question in one of my leagues. If it was standard and you don't get points for those catches, then I would probably go Matt Jones.
Follow-up question from Steven in Camp Zama, Japan.
Wait,
Camp Zama.
Steven has a follow-up to Eric's question?
Correct.
How did they do that?
From
It's
Japan.
magic. Listen, if Lynch is out, do you start Thomas Rawls above Lamar Miller?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Against the Lions? Yes.
You happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
You'd take the risk with the youngster?
Absolutely.
All right, here is Pedro the Great in Springfield, Illinois. Thoughts on this trade and would you do it? I'm considering trading Gronk and Crowell for Jamal Charles. He has Eifert in that league. Would you trade Gronk for Charles?
No.
I would.
If
I
as well.
have Eifert. Normally I don't get rid of Gronk, but if you've got Eifert there,
Are you guys
taking
worried about Eifert's gooser?
No, not at all.
'Cause he-
I'm worried.
He
I'm
had
scared.
he had a touchdown stolen away, and I believe he dropped another one.
And in addition, he was playing the Ravens, which I spoke to this before. They're great against tight ends, and they're lousy against wide receivers, so why go to your tight end?
So, okay,
Yeah.
so to answer the question, I guess I can see it with you
We
guys.
did. Me and Jason said we would do it.
And we
But
won
I'm-
you over.
Yeah, maybe.
Woohoo!
I mean, Charles' usage has been back to 2 years ago, and where he's getting involved everywhere.
He's really good.
Yeah, his skill has never ever been the question. The question has been Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy
Being a-
Reid.
being
Andy
a-
Reid brings about a lot of questions. Patrick in Baton Rouge, with C.J. Anderson struggling, should I be willing to package Odell Beckham with Anderson and try to get an RB1? But listen to the RB1s he mentions and debate this, like Eddie Lacy or Latavius Murray.
Let's see.
Well, I love
Has he
Latavius
joined
Murray as
the-
a 2, but he is not.
No, I mean, but why wouldn't he be a 1? I'm asking the question for the show because at some point in time a guy becomes a 1, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
So
the
he's
reason he
been a
doesn't
1.
become, yeah, he is currently a 1. The whole reason I still see him as my most loved RB2 is because I don't think the Oakland Raiders are going to continue to be able to put up points like they've been. Their matchups have been beneficial for putting up higher scoring games.
Number 4 right now.
Yeah, he's
been great.
He's great. But, I mean, if you want to make a run at it, like, in order to give up CJ and ODB, you've got to be getting someone like Jamal Charles. You got to get an absolute top-notch guy. And even then,
What's funny is we're so quick. So it's been 3 weeks. Jeremy Hill, C.J. Anderson, these guys, they're trash. They're terrible. We need to get rid of them.
No.
But I'm just saying how the general public is reacting with the questions we're getting. And in 3 weeks, now all of a sudden Latavius Murray he's guaranteed to be running back 1. Just think it's an interesting.
From the public perception?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever happens can happen in reverse.
Well, right. One of the things that's hard is that, I mean, we obviously all have a bunch of teams, but we don't have shares in every single guy. And so when these people write in, when our listeners write in and they've felt the visceral sadness of a Jeremy Hill day or a Forsett day, that's why you feel so bad about those guys. We can step back a little easier and say,
I understand. And I was the largest Latavius Murray skeptic over the offseason. And
you're enormous.
Yeah, and he's really winning me over. So I'm buying in, but I'm not calling him a running back 1.
Yeah, I think with the workload, he's close.
He is close. If he finishes this year as an RB1, I won't be surprised.
You guys
at
would be
all.
very wet. I have like 10 bets with him on the Latavius side.
Yes.
Including, I believe, a Forsett Latavius bet.
We do have a Forsett Latavius bet.
You guys were mocking me over that one.
3
All right.
weeks a season.
I
does not
only
make.
mention bets I will win. Start sit question. Alex in Portland. This is a great one because it's kind of matchup versus performance so far. Phillip Rivers against the Browns or Carson Palmer against the Rams. PPR league. That's kind of doesn't matter, but unless they're catching passes.
Who's Phillip Rivers playing again?
The Browns.
They're
both at home.
Phillip Rivers seems to play a lot better at home. That's a tricky one.
Phillip was almost my stream of the week yesterday.
He's that low owned?
No, that's why it wasn't my stream of the week.
Okay.
But, I mean, I like him this week to bounce back. Coming off a loss at home, comfortable at home against the Browns. I like Rivers. It's super close because Palmer's obviously been great. Palmer missed a couple extra touchdowns that Chris Johnson got this past week. I think the Rams' defense is much better than the 49ers. That being said, at home, the Cardinals play well. So,
yeah, I don't know why you would sit a
probably play
scorching
Palmer.
hot Palmer right now.